Hey guys, it's Fred coming at you live. A lot of times on these videos, people comment on the age of them. And of course, the age, I continually say, I don't think it's the age of the video that matters. I think it's the fact that some of this stuff happened at all is alarming enough and shows a pattern of behavior. On this one here, this is an update that I just run across. So if you guys seen the construction worker that jumped out, or the state trooper that jumped out, the Kentucky state trooper, let me make sure we emphasize that, Kentucky state trooper that jumped out of his car off duty and jumped on 3 construction workers, highway workers. And here's your follow-up on that video.
Years after a KSP trooper was caught assaulting a road construction crew on camera, the victims are still seeking justice. This is Wave News at 11. I'm Noelle Friel. John is off tonight. The incident happened in 2017 on Dixie Highway during paving work from Radcliffe to the Meade County area on 31 West. Wave News reporter Logan Perone sat down with the workers who claim nobody has been held accountable.
Yeah, Joey Gaddis, Damon Johnson, and Cindy West all settled their civil suit in federal court back in 2021. Now, more than 3 years later, they haven't seen any of that money. However, they tell us that's not why they're sharing this story again.
Don't yell at me! I will yell at you!
We were just out there doing our jobs. It's not like we were out committing a crime or anything else.
Road work on the highway interrupted by rage in 2017 when then KSP Post 4 Trooper Anthony Harrison attacked 3 members of a paving crew. Joey Gaddis caught some of the confrontation on camera.
The only thing that saved us is that video that he had.
Video shows Harrison out of his car, yelling and attacking the workers. They say Harrison ignored their traffic signals and was yelled at to slow down before the incident happened. The exchange became the center of a civil rights lawsuit against Harrison, which was settled in 2021.
But you didn't see the dime.
No. Nothing, no.
Years later, still feeling physical pain and carrying an emotional weight, all 3 say they haven't seen justice, and it has nothing to do with the money.
It would be for someone to actually step up, take ownership of what happened, physically speak to us, not through a lawyer, admit where they went wrong.
The group says no one from KSP ever attended their mediation hearings, just lawyers representing Harrison. Richard Williams is representing Gaddis, Johnson, and West. They've taken action against the Commonwealth.
We attempted to enforce that judgment against the Kentucky State Police and gave the state an opportunity to pay. And after we didn't hear from them for several months, we went ahead and filed a lawsuit in Frankfurt asking for the judgment to be enforced against the state police.
That lawsuit was filed last year, but has yet to get any movement. Williams points out a pattern of problems and misconduct amongst law enforcement in the state, and specifically state troopers.
So, I mean, the fact that it happens once is tragic. The fact that it's happening more than once is unforgivable, and we need to do something about it.
Harrison never faced any charges related to the incident. Williams says he was reassigned to the Bowling Green post and later fired for not responding to a call while on duty. The crew believes the state's lack of care and action sets a standard that agencies like KSP are above the law, even though they say one bad apple doesn't ruin the bunch.
I couldn't just stop and beat somebody up and walk away from it with nothing. I would be held accountable. It doesn't matter who it is. I mean, it's just not the way things are supposed to be, but evidently he can, and the state troopers can, and that's where we're at now.
We reached out to KSP asking what the holdup is on their settlement. The agency is still working to get us that information.
Of course they are. I'm sure they'll get right back to you. KSP is one of the most accountable agencies that I've ever acknowledged. I think it comes from the top down. It comes from your top brass, from your commissioner, all the way down. When the officers see a commissioner that they don't respect or they see that's not professional, they have no desire to be professional or respectful themselves. That's my thoughts. That's my opinion. Talks about other agencies and specifically the state police that has lost credibility, and that couldn't be truer. There's not an agency in the state of Kentucky that's lost credibility more over the last few years especially is the Kentucky State Police. They're just not held accountable. They don't hold their troopers accountable. They, you know, we've always said, or I have, that a person's past often predicts his future, and one strike and you're out. Once you mess up as a police officer, you should be out. And it's proven. I'm not talking about accusations, allegations. We have a video here. There's a video of this man jumping out and jumping on 3 construction workers off duty. Nothing but contempt of himself, contempt of cop, and you don't even know he's a cop. He's in civilian clothes. And he went on. He wasn't fired over this incident. He went back to work. He was fired later on for not responding to a call. We've already got a videotape of him outside of his car jumping on. Instead of filing a complaint or trying to make a change, he jumps out and physically assaults 3 Kentucky State road workers, and then they keep him on the job. He's not fired. He's not sent down the road. They keep him on, and they only fire him later on when he fails to respond to a call. I wonder what the call was. I wonder if the call was a domestic, something where it was life-threatening. Somebody's sitting there, a burglar. Somebody's sitting there waiting for an officer to respond, and no one shows up. What was the results of that case? That would be nice to know. But you're not going to find out, because the KSP are one of the most private organizations. It's like getting information from the mob, in my opinion. It's like getting the mob to tell you something about themselves, because they deny every open records request that you can send them. And how they do it, they just depend on the Attorney General's office or the delay or the paperwork, or people won't go through the effort and the time to try to, and they're right. A lot of times they are correct. But the Kentucky State Police, especially here in Kentucky, has lost most of their credibility. That I can confirm that. Guys, thanks for joining me. See you on the next one.